Alright, well, Secret Project Book 2 is out. The Frugal Wizard's Handbook to Surviving Medieval England. I've already finished it. I love it. Let's get into the review.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey fantasy fans, welcome back. It's Dan here with Treebeard Book Reviews, and I'm excited to review the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. I'm not going to say the title again. Maybe I'll just call it Frugal Wizards, but this is the second story in the Secret Novels by Brandon Sanderson release. Just came out today on April 1st, and I've already finished it. It was a lot of fun. I did the audiobook version for this. I got it at midnight, but I started it this morning. It's really short. It's only about 9 hours. And when you listen to this at like 1.8, 2.0 speed, I slammed it out in like 4 hours. It was a pretty quick listen. So let's get into the review, like the meat and potatoes. So I just want to say, if you're new to the channel, thank you for checking me out. And if you think I deserve to like or subscribe, please hit that button. Let's get on to the review of the Frugal Wizard Guide. So this is the second secret project. I was probably the most excited for this project out of all of them, to be completely frank. I did like Tress. I've liked Tress more that I've been separated from it, but this one I liked automatically. Usually Sanderson's comedy does not work for me, and this one, it did. It actually did work for me. I laughed a few times. I found myself chuckling, and I find myself kind of relating to the humor in this one a little bit better. And maybe because it's like a non-Cosmere book, that I just had a great time with it. Like, I just took the book for what it was. I didn't take it too seriously. Didn't see it as this, large interconnected universe. Just really enjoyed the story. And it's a very simple story where your main character wakes up with amnesia in a world. He has a handbook of how to survive in medieval England, and he's told he's a wizard. So there is obviously a little bit more to that. Like, it's not just he's not really just a wizard. He's a very advanced human, but it's a really fun premise, and I think it played out really well. It has some familiar notes to it. Like, if you've read Project Hail Mary, you'll probably like this. Very similar kind of humor, very very witty. But similar, with a character with amnesia has to figure out his past, and he's going on an adventure, and he meets some friends along the way that help him jog his memory, and then he eventually has to solve the situation he's in which he does. And Sanderson, I think, does it in very creative ways. Is this story groundbreaking and new? It's not really. Essentially, it's we've all seen these time traveling or like Total Recall, where fish out of water, or if it's like that old kind of I think a lot of kids play this game, or even adults play it. Is like, if you had a time machine, what time period would you go back to, and how would you conquer humanity? And this is kind of what this story's all about. It's a lot of fun. This is definitely more of a sci-fi book than a fantasy book. For Brandon, I really kind of like that he did that. This is he could really pull out all the stops, especially I find with sci-fi. You can pull in all the funky tech, and sometimes with Cosmere and some of the fantasy stuff, he's really limited. He has to kind of explain it in like a magical sense, and this way he can kind of explain it in a science sense. But science is just magic that people don't understand yet. So it's just, this book is a lot of fun. I really kind of connected with the main character. I'm not going to say his name because you don't learn his name till a little bit later in the book. But the amnesia really worked for this character, because if he didn't have amnesia, you probably wouldn't like him. And so you're going along on this journey with he's set in this medieval world. He's trying to figure out himself, figure out his role, and figure out why he's there. And it's great. I had so much fun with this book. Like I said, it is kind of funny. Some of the jokes didn't land, but this is one where I felt like the jokes landed for me more than they flopped, essentially. Which was great to see. Maybe Sanderson is getting better at the humor side. I don't think he's perfect. He's still more of like a slapstick humorist. He's not really ever going to be Terry Pratchett, which is fine. I can live with that. But I still had a good time. And that's all I really ask for from a good novel. It's a really short read, really quick listen. And I think anyone who could dip their toes into this and have a good time. It's not a serious book. It's not a deep book. It has some, deep themes, But it's really, you get in there, yeah, you have fun with the novel, and then you walk away and, you enjoy something else. And, in terms of books for Sanderson, I kind of like what he did with this one, where, is Brandon really kind of stretching his writing chops, where he can take such a small story, like a short story like this, and, you dip your feet in for a few hours. He immerses you in this medieval England world, and you come back out again and you've had a good time. You had some relatable characters. You had some characters that you might know these types of characters in your life. And they're a lot of fun. It was just such a good time from cover to cover in this book. Again, Michael Kramer and Kate Redding are doing the audio narration. Again, they are absolutely fantastic. And I really did like the FAQ or the ads that kept popping up. So Kate Redding really narrated the ads, where it'd be like FAQ, frequently asked questions, a wizard's guide to. And so it was kind of like, it was nice to break up some of the chapters, and it was literally just like shameless marketing. And when you think about today, and even like ads and YouTube videos, like, it's true, it just totally happens. So the one thing is, I liked the setting. I liked Anglo-Saxon England. I liked how there's multiple histories at play, and how there's not one way that history would have played out. And it was cool to think about the possibilities of this world. And if I was this, we ever got into a situation where we could have this type of technology, would I want to do one of these adventures? Yeah, why not? Like, I'm a student of history. I love history. History's always fascinated me. And I just think Brandon had a lot of fun with this book. And I think a lot of readers will have fun with this book. Is it deep? No. Is it groundbreaking? No. But is it a good time? Heck yeah, it's a good time. I'm glad that I got to go on this good time, because I think with Sanderson, a lot of his novels, everyone just wants those Cosmere books. And it's nice to see when he can deliver something that's non-Cosmere, that's just a wallop of fun. So that's really all I want to say for this book, guys. I really liked it. It's if I were to rate, I got to give it a rating. Let's give it a rating. So I gave it a 5 stars on Goodreads, but to give it my rating, I would say get a Treebeard seal of approval. Great book, probably one of the best books I've read this year. It's just silly. It's absolutely silly, and I like that you could just have that silliness. It's not silly like in a Discworld, but it's actually way more like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it's sometimes silly for the sake of silliness, and sometimes we need those books. We need those books to have a laugh and a giggle. And this is a book that I can't wait to read to my kids one day. Maybe there is some darker tones, so they might need to be a little bit older, because there is some action that happens that's pretty gruesome at some points. But I think for a young adult, this is a great novel too. So guys, have you read the Frugal Wizard's Handbook or To Surviving Medieval England? What did you think about it? And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.